Hi, this is Scott Anderson, the Chief Marketing Officer for Intermedia, and I'm here with Dustin Osburn, the IT Manager for Stranded Oil. Hi, Dustin.
Hi, Scott.
Tell us what your company does.
Our company is Stranded Oil Resources Corporation. So we are actually going in and recovering oil that's been stranded.
When the COVID virus came to us and we all had to shelter in place, did that change the nature of communications within your offices and where people sat?
It's kind of a catalyst for change that we'd already been moving towards due to, in large part, the fact that we already had everything bundled through Intermedia. We bundled most of our services about 4 years ago in 2016, and our VoIP telecommunications and our email and everything, we use SecureSync heavily for sharing files. We have a couple of large SecureSync shares, but we didn't miss a beat. People basically grabbed their stuff off their desk. If they needed it, they took their phone and they just went home and plugged it in and kept working like usual.
So tell me more about SecureSync. You were saying that you have a massive repository of SecureSync. Is that for internal file documentation or is for other reasons? How do you use it?
We use it for pretty much everything. When we'll go in and buy an old oil field, there will be paper records that have to be scanned in manually to get that data, and then we'll get that data electronically into SecureSync so that our geologists and engineers can get to the data that they need. We also use it as a central repository for all of our various spreadsheets, company documents, interactions with state entities, customers. Pretty much anything that gets entered into an Office application gets stored on SecureSync.
From an IT perspective, were there any challenges that you had or decision making that you went through when everything happened and everybody went home?
I'd like to say it was a huge challenge, and I slaved away for hours to make a seamless transition, but really I didn't have to do a whole lot. As far as our core business, it was really just another day at the office.
How was Intermedia selected?
We were looking for ways to cut our IT spend. We had rack space for email, we had Carbonite for backup, we had Dropbox was our file sharing platform, and actually we also used 8x8 for our VoIP phones. And the problems we encountered were service outages across various vendors. We had our share of problems, and not to mention it was expensive. When we looked at bundling all of these things through Intermedia, it immediately saved us $100,000 a year just in service charges. And so that was enough reason to pull the trigger right there. But after the first year, we noticed we had no downtime. We had a couple of growing pains when we did the initial migration, but a lot of that was us learning how to use everything and figuring out how everything fit together. But we never really had any downtime.
One of the things I've heard is you don't have to memorize a whole bunch of passwords to get access to a whole bunch of different portals. From an IT perspective, is that something that's valuable to you?
It's a lifesaver. I already have a lot of passwords to manage. I have a password vault that is daunting, but being able to log in through one control panel and manage pretty much all of our services. I go to two places to do pretty much anything I need to do as far as my job goes.
Okay.
And one of those is Intermedia. Yeah.
That's got to be valuable for you. When you look forward, you've closed down and sold off some of the office buildings. Do you see your company going back to offices at some point, or remote, or some hybrid?
It's actually been discussed, and management really liked the pajama model. We didn't miss a beat for the first 3 months where COVID was really impactful and everything just kind of ground to a halt. Once they figured out, we can do everything we need to do from anywhere we're at. At this point, we don't have any plans to open up any more true office locations where everybody comes in, punches a clock, does their job, and goes home. So being able to host everything in the cloud has really contributed greatly to the ease of managing our IT.
All right. Well, thank you, Dustin. I really appreciate your time today, and thanks for being a customer.